A thread by Carlos Osuita. Here's the funniest complaint to date by race baiters. U.S. national parks are too white, but the claim is a total lie. Here's all you need to know. What, pray tell, is the white population of the United States? 76.3%. Visitors of national parks, 77% white. Dear people of color, the fact that you don't go to national parks is not a problem. You go there in exactly the percentage that you exist in the US. Even if you impose a quota system, you'll get the same numbers visiting the parks. I know that currently the press and the Democrats are caught up in a frenzy of racial mental illness, but you need to know that sane people are laughing at them. You're afraid to go to the national parks? Too bad. I don't care. Grow up. Back when I traveled all over Los Angeles and Hollywood, I had long hair and a big beard. I'm 6 feet tall. There were times when I found myself in parking garages with a young woman who was alone and afraid. So I stood off to the side, far from her. When the elevator came, I said, "I'll take the next one." They had a reason to be afraid. People of color should worry about bears in national parks, not white people. Guess who white people should be worried about? People of color. Park rangers have to wear flak vests and carry firearms now. This has been a problem for 2 decades. I don't want to hear about the fears of people of color anymore. I don't feel welcomed. So what? Are you 8 years old? And welcomed by whom? White people? What are we supposed to do? Welcome, brown lady. Try to go hiking with every single white person saying, "I'm so glad you're here, brown lady." You'd tell everyone to shut the fuck up after 5 minutes. As well, you should. How the hell am I supposed to welcome people of color? Here's a question. Should I be pissed off because my 7-Elevens are run by Nepalese and they're the most sour, unwelcoming people I've ever encountered? Is that racism, or is it part of their culture? I don't need my butt kissed. I just want my coffee. Seriously, do people of color go to national parks to enjoy the great outdoors, or do they go there in order to have white people kowtow to them? I don't know. I'm not an outdoors guy. I hate camping, hiking, fishing, biking, everything else. You know why? People. I used to go to the beach all the time when I lived in cold, foggy places. All the beach goers were like me, solitary. We wanted to be left alone. I spoke to fellow beach goers only twice. Once was when I was collecting sea glass, and another collector came up. This was the only place in San Francisco where sea glass was washed up. "Hey," I said to this extremely crazy looking man, "I've been here a while, so now it's your turn." "Really?" he asked. "Sure. How about if you take over from me and I'll stand on the side and get the ones you don't want?" "I appreciate it." He collected, and gradually he started talking to me. A fellow hermit with PTSD. We had a nice, quiet time. The second time was on a beach in Portland. I was walking, and a very attractive young woman was coming toward me. "Good morning," she called. I expected her to keep going, but she wanted to chat. Nice lady, but I was disconcerted by her friendliness. "Aren't you worried about being out here all alone?" I asked. "Oh, I'm not alone," she said. She shouted something, and this popped out of the seagrass and ran to me. She said something to it, and it skidded to a stop, sniffing me. "What in God's name is that?" I asked. "A Russian bear dog. They use them for hunting bear. He understands only Russian. He follows me in the grass when I walk on the beach. He likes to hide." She bade me farewell, and her pet monster ran back up into the grass. I have no patience for people who are in a permanent state of discontent. Keep your stupid victimhood out of our national parks. Nobody is required to make you feel welcomed. If you have the need to have your butt kissed by strangers, you should be forced to get it forever. There's a Twilight Zone episode about a guy who's in love with a beautiful neighbor who thinks he's a buffoon. He ends up buying a love potion, but the seller warns him that he'll regret it. He buys it anyway and slips it to the woman, and then she's totally in love with him. Forever. She sits and stares at him in silence. "What?" he asks. "Nothing. I just love looking at you." "James," she says. "Yes, nothing. I just love saying your name." Soon he hates it so much that he makes another terrible decision. Dear people of color, you do not want white people to kiss your butts forever. We outnumber you by a huge margin. We'd make your life a living hell. You couldn't go anywhere without white people smooching your rumps. I'm just trying to eat dinner, but I must welcome you. Just knock off this race crap. It's stupid. Beware what you wish for. You just might get it.